Okay, today we're playing Path of Exile. It's not so much new as it just recently came into open beta. This game it's another Diablo clone, but it's extremely unique in the way it handles skills and itemization. So, just gonna jump right into it and go and thwack the hell out of these undying wretches. Right now I'm in a catacomb area. Much of the game is actually, I won't say open world, but it's more open than this. This is kind of narrow corridors, gated off sections. It's kind of like a prison for dead things. The skills, I don't find... I find myself using the same few skills over and over again in this game, but that's kind of par for the course for Diablo clones. Or this, I don't like calling them that. Games of this particular genre, dungeon crawlers, I guess, because you really find yourself focusing on one thing just so you can have the optimal character. Well, maybe not one thing, but a set of very narrow things. Such as my character, I actually found relatively early on. I found a unique amulet that applies 50% of my block chance to spells. And I had already started making this character for staves. So I just went ahead and full bore went into finding more block chance for my staff. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near what it would be if I was using a shield, but the idea of a Templar just batting away spells with a staff and then charging at you just gets me randy, so I had no choice. Now, this game can get a little bit difficult at times. You'll find yourself dying. I don't find myself dying often, but when I do die, it's extremely sudden, and I'm kind of left confused for a second. Like, I have to look around and see if there was a unique or something that just totally opened my butthole. Not always the case. Sometimes they just get the better of you, like critical hits and all that. Such as right here. Ouch. These guys explode. Know what this guy does. Yeah, playing alone, it's really very easy to get overwhelmed. And of course, difficulty of dungeons scales when you have more players. But the more players you have, you find this many enemies is not as imposing when there are like 5 of you. I actually don't know what the max amount of people you could have in your party in a dungeon at once is. Ouch. Oh, that was some pain. These guys appear to have glowing brains, though, which I think is kind of funny. Now, as far as environment goes, this is probably one of the best-looking Diablo, dungeon crawlers that you could find right now. Like, it really... It looks fantastic. You might not be able to tell because of my crap quality, but it really does. The one thing that irks me, though, about this particular character is that when I talk about him, race cars drive by. No, he never really puts on pants regardless of your armor. He's very resolute in his ability to go pantless through hordes of the undead. Ooh, that's a royal snuff. Keep that. One thing I want to mention, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but your skills are socketed into your items. And through links like this, you can enhance your skills. Like, you see right here, I have a sweep gem and a weapon elemental damage gem. And these are very easily, as you can see, just swapped in and out so you can mix and match your skills on the fly. And the elemental damage is now applied to this, so anything that I have that it applies like extra fire damage will make this hit even harder because of that extra gem that's tied onto it. That also slightly increases the mana used for it, but it's negligible unless you're meeking out every single point, which I've seen some builds do. The game is pretty awesome with its skill point system, because the skill tree, the passive skill tree, is well, it's huge. Like, as you can see here, it's big. And you could do a lot of really unique things. Like, I've seen a Marauder, which is like this game's equivalent to a Barbarian, and he would set himself on fire and charge through dungeons, just basically hugging everything he could, and he was just ridiculous. Because he took just as much damage as he was dealing out to these guys with the fire, and he had based himself entirely in health regen and resistances just so he could actually do that. But this game gives you remarkable amounts of freedom in how you're able to stat and skill your character. I also saw a bow Templar, because Templars tend to, they have a lot of elemental damage near the beginning of their tree. So I actually saw a Templar that used a bow that he focused entirely on elemental damage with the bow. And it was actually really effective because of the amount of elemental damage they have early on. Whether that was more effective than a elemental ranger, I'm not sure, but I was impressed. The freedom to this, however, well, it's a double-edged sword, because you could find yourself working for a really long time on a character that you thought out, and then it just ends up being kind of lackluster. Like, it's not what you expected. It's not as strong as you would have expected. But it's that freedom to fail that ends with really cool builds anyway, so I definitely enjoy that system. And there's another bomb thrower, so I'm not going to stand where he can see me. Go ahead and take care of those guys first. I see you there, buddy. Damn. Let's see if I could find a magical item really quick that I could show you how the vendor system works. Usually aren't this hard to find. I've probably passed up a few. Let's go down. The load times in this game are not that bad, except for when you're initially booting the game. I've been told by many people that it can be a little bit laggy. Look at the lighting here. It's kind of nice. I like it. Also, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's very clearly a man begging for his life in the distance. That's fun. Just again, the atmosphere and the graphics in this game are really nice. Oh god! Oh no! 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 Oh, that's a lot of fire damage. I should have seen that coming. Like I said, the game doesn't seem that difficult, but you can find yourself getting overwhelmed in a hurry. Like, as you saw, I went from full health to no health really quick, and it's kind of funny because my build deals a lot with mitigating damage, and unfortunately, it's not that great at mitigating elemental damage. I was hoping that using my staff as a blocking implement would help with that, but as you can see, it's a little bit ineffective. I am going to stick with this character because I do like him. I like the idea. He's not that bad, except for in situations like that where he just got. Well, I'm pretty sure the staff entered his butthole as he was exploded. It was not a very pretty sight. But I definitely do like this character. I'm going to stick with it, even though he's not that effective. I was able to solo the second boss of the boss of Act 2, so that he's a real, like, there are bosses that you would just walk up and hit in games, and then there are bosses that if you walk up and hit them, they will bend you over and teach you how to play the song of their people. And I found that some of the bosses in this game are like that. They're not very friendly. Okay, these skeletal mages need to go. Oh, the pain. Oh, God. Let's get out of their line of sight. This unique monster right here, or rare I guess, he has a slowdown aura that was forcing me to get hit by those skeletons. Perfect. Now if you heard that, my clearly Greek character has a Scottish voice, which I question, but it's not a bad one, so oh, I leveled up. That is tremendously convenient.